Hi, today I'm gonna go over TubeOnAI and I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts on the tool. I've been using it for over a month now, so I've tested out most of their features. I've focused on the things that matter to me the most and how it has helped me to improve my workflow. And I'll also be sharing some of the pain points that I've been having, which I've also shared with their team as well. So the main job of TubeOnAI is to help you summarize YouTube and podcast content quickly. You can also use it to summarize the content for any other publicly available web audio content as well. The real USP for me though is that you can use custom prompts in order to repurpose these content into other formats. So for example, here you can paste any YouTube or any public URL here. What it does in the background is that it'll process the transcript and then it'll generate the summary based on that transcript. So if it's a YouTube link, then TubeOnAI can grab the transcript available in the backend. But if it's something that's not YouTube, then it'll have to go through the video or the audio by itself and then generate the transcript and then create the summary. So the process is pretty straightforward. So you take a video, just copy the link here, whoops, and then you'd paste it into the tool. This works the same way on their mobile app, which is pretty convenient. So yeah, it generates the summary here, and this is something that you can't change at this stage. So if you don't want the summary in this particular format, if you want it in, let's say, in an article format, then you'd have to go to the next step, which is to repurpose content. And then you can create your own custom prompt or choose from the public prompt library. So for me, this is nice. Like I can get a quick breakdown of what the video is about. But then for me, I don't really use this feature that much. I would actually use the repurpose content feature a lot more often. And for cooking videos, for example, I can just create a prompt to filter out all the fluffs and only focus on the recipe itself and just give me that. And that'll be it. For business related content, a lot of times I would find really helpful tips from the interviews, for example, and I want to save it. But, I would want to skip all the parts that are unrelated. So if you would imagine an hour-long video interview where, the person would start talking about their childhood, what they did growing up, or how they got started in the business world. These things might not always be relevant. They would be the things that the summary would pick up, but not necessarily what I would like to make notes of. Another instance is when it's a completely new topic in a new field that I'm not familiar with, then I would want to use that first prompt. What would a noob do? This is something I created for myself in order to help me break down the topic into a more easy to understand approach, such as how to start baby-led weaning for my newborn. And there are tons of other formats, other prompts that I can think of that people would need as well. So for me, at this point, I would love to be able to choose before I hit the summarize button, to choose the custom prompt from this tab here to get started. Because the way that TubeOnAI works is that you have a limit on the number of minutes that you can use per month based on the tier that you have in your account. And let me check here, usage. Yeah. So like I have 3,000 minutes and you need to bring your own key as well, your own API key from OpenAI. And because we are essentially just paying for the AI credits using our own keys, ideally I would like to use my own prompts. So that would make sense. I don't want to waste my credits on the summary part. But yeah, I mean, it's very useful in the sense that here I can throw in here under the repurposed content, the comprehensive summary, my own prompts for this, and it would generate the output for me in all these different formats here. And then I can also run another one on, let me just let that finish first. So when it shows green, that means that, you know, it's already been generated. Yeah, so distilled lessons is slightly different. The main difference for me is that comprehensive summary, it will follow the structure of the video chronologically, but distilled lessons, it doesn't always follow that. So it'll break it down and reorganize things into, you know, topics that I need to learn. So for example, this one's on parenting. It talks about balancing boundaries and emotions, role of hope in parenting. You know, it focuses on what I need to learn instead of, you know, the summary about the video itself. So a lot of times they can be similar, but, you know, for videos like this, I'm sure that it's different. So a nice feature is that you can subscribe, you can sync with your YouTube account and then subscribe to the channel that you've subscribed to from your account. You don't have to like go find them one by one. And what happens is that, like Chris Young is one of my favorite. What happens is that whenever they have a new video, then it would summarize and then it'll send you an update, which is, I thought it was pretty cool. But for channels who have a lot of shorts, which are basically just cut up videos from like a long, hour-long videos, then, you know, you typically wouldn't want to use this feature to automatically summarize. So yeah, so you wouldn't have to waste your credit on those videos. Yeah, another cool feature that I think can be quite helpful is that you can save videos into certain collections. So for example, I'm in ecom space, so I create one for ecom, and you can save videos from different topics, different channels, and you can group them in here, and then you can ask questions based on the specific videos that you choose. So you can, if you have 10 here, you can just choose one or two specific ones about, let's say, logistics, and ask questions related to the logistics in there. Another feature that helps to improve my workflow is that it has a cool webhook feature here that works like this. So when you run a summary on a video, then it'll push that summary into any of the platforms that you choose. So for example, if I just run regenerate here, it should be able to notify me once it's. So for example, if I just run regenerate here, it should be able to notify me once it's finished and push the content that I have ready. So let me just check. Yep, just heard a notification. There you go. New summary created. How to build confidence in your kids, and then it has the you know, the channel name and then the link to the doc. So I created this automation. So when I click on it, it'll take me to that one, and with the summary filled out here and the transcript in a different place here, and then also sorted by the latest summary added. It doesn't have the link though, so I'll look and the one thing that I would love for them to do is to push it a little further, so to make the webhook available for repurposed content as well, because as I mentioned, that these prompts are the real value for me. So when I generate them like this, there's no way to push the content through a webhook yet, so I'd have to copy them. And I go to the TubeOnAI summary, summary. So I put here comprehensive, and then yeah. So, but you can see that the markdown does not carry over. I mean, it does all these. To do again is just to need to delete that. And another feature that I would like them to add is to allow us to use different models, so not just OpenAI. For example, right now, I would prefer Claude over OpenAI because of the output quality. There are times when I would come across content that's really good and I want to share it with other people. And if I decide to share that on social media, I don't want to go through the hassle of trying to create graphics for that as well. And obviously no one's going to read it if I just share a wall of texts like this. So if TubeOnAI can create some sort of basic templates with stylized background or just nice solid color backgrounds and good typography formatting, that would save me a ton of time going to Canva or fiddling on my phone trying to edit all these texts. There's one tool that does this really well, and that's AudioPen. So that's the one. I'm using this one to record my thoughts whenever I have some ideas or something I want noted down, and it will process that transcript to rewrite it with a lot more clarity and just better flow in general. And let's say for this note here, I want to share about our new product line, the Slim Box. So now I have the option of either trying to format a wall of text like this on Canva or to send it to my team and just wait for them to create the graphics, or I can do this and choose from one of the three formats: LinkedIn, Twitter, or the Instagram stories. So once I save it, it'll try to generate the image to the correct ratio and I can just download it. And there you have it. I like the fact that it's very minimal, which allows people to focus on the content itself. Of course, there's also a lot of text here, but I mean, that's how much thoughts I have to share. And also, it's a nice color background. It's easy to read. It's not pitch black, which would strain your eyes when you read it. And yeah, that's pretty much what I need from a tool like this, just sharing content to other people. And I guess this would also help TubeOnAI quite a lot too, because for one, they can have that option to leave the branding at the bottom somewhere, or I can also, just straight up telling people how much I love it, because it would make my process of sharing content a lot easier. So the last feature that I would like to mention here, which I think has a lot of potential, is the email digest. So the way it works is that if you subscribe to a bunch of different channels, at the end of the day, it'll send you a roundup summaries of all the new content from those channels. So this is cool because I like to read newsletters. Well, the good ones at least. And these are handpicked because I handpicked them. So of course I'm going to be interested in reading these summaries. But there's one thing I don't think that they've considered is that if you look at here, you can see the thumbnails, the title, and then the TLDR part. But then if you take a look, they're not so much different from the YouTube descriptions from each of those videos themselves. So it's pretty redundant for me. And that's why I'd love to see the summary that TubeOnAI actually generates. I think if they can do that, then it would really become a content digest email for me, and I would actually enjoy reading that, without having to go to the tool. Because at the end of the day, the purpose of having and using these tools is that, you get the convenience of consuming the content where, when, and how you want them. So I actually did a search using Perplexity to find out if there are any other tools that will let me summarize YouTube content and push the output to other platforms. And I see TubeOnAI here being among the top of the suggestions, which is great for them. And I think they truly have a lot of potential. But one of the things that I believe they really, really need to hone in on is to improve the whole workflow and make that experience a lot smoother and a lot quicker as well. Because if you take a look at the summaries here, if I just open the video to take you from set 1, you'd have to first copy this and then go here to paste it in. That's 2 steps. It'll run to create the summary, but I don't actually need that summary. What I actually need is one of the outputs from one of the prompts down here. So that's 4 steps already. I would have to copy the output here, but I wouldn't be able to push the output to my platform of choice, which is Coda, because the webhook is not available here. It's only in the summary step. So that's 5, 6 steps already. And in my opinion, it should really be able to do this job within, 2 or 3 steps at most, which that's what it's going to take to improve the workflow that I have in mind. So what are the other alternatives that you can have besides the ones that Perplexity suggested? Well, one of the things that I've been testing recently is the Merlin extension. So for example, here, let me just refresh this. So what I can do is that I can save the custom prompts that I've created with TubeOnAI here onto my Stream Deck. And I'm just going to paste it in over here. Let's say I want to choose the distilled lessons. Yep. And I would run it like this. So it would give me the output using the model that I want, which is Sonnet here. And here's the output. So if you're talking workflow efficiency, I would still have to copy the output here manually. But what I can do is that I can use this extension here and bookmark the video and go to the dock once it's saved and find it here. And then I can, put in the output, which I've just copied, similar to TubeOnAI. There you go. So distilled lessons. So yes, I can have that done too within how many clicks here? First one would be to copy this output here and save it. That's step 3. And then click to go there, 4, and paste it in 5. So I mean, it's pretty much similar. It's one step less. But then the main thing is that, even though it's not automated, I don't have to jump back and forth between 3 different platforms, the YouTube video, TubeOnAI, and then Coda, in order to finish this one workflow. It's literally just the the YouTube page, the extension, which is still on the same page, and then Coda. So to round up all of that, I think that TubeOnAI is a very good tool. Obviously, they've carved out a niche for themselves, focusing on repurposing content specifically and letting you subscribe and save your favorite channels and group them into projects, which you can group different videos in and then ask questions and repurpose the content from multiple videos, which is, I think it's pretty unique. But it's the workflow and the overall UI that I think still need a lot of work to improve. From a developer side, it may seem like it's a minor thing and it's not important, but trust me, from a user experience, I would happily switch if there is a tool that gives me, that does pretty much the same basic job. I'm not talking about all the features that they have, but just the job of summarizing the output, using the prompts that I have and I want to use, and just push it to the platform where I can save and take a look at them, easily. So those are my honest thoughts on the tool. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think.